He'll certainly try anyway.
Yeah, we can fairly say we expect to have Bardiani, Team Polti, definitely, and Novo Nordisk, as you see, with a couple of riders already on.
Unrecoverable position for him. Biniam Girmay also delayed, as well as Wout van Aert.
And Matteo Jorgensen, I think, was involved. We see Affini here, but let's see the replay of it. I think Pogačar was the first one going down there. Ready to fight as... let's wait and see where Tadej Pogačar is now being brought back by a teammate, I think, is Groschartner, if I'm not mistaken.
It's McNulty. He's got McNulty's wheel now. McNulty trying to fight for space on the right-hand side of the road is at the front, and McNulty picks it up. And there's Tadej Pogačar. What's he got left in the locker? Isaac Del Toro looks at his team leader, almost in disbelief, trying to figure out what on earth is going to happen now. Because in all their calculations, in all their thinking about how this might play out, they would never in a million years have suspected that he's been through the mill, he's been down, and now he's at the front as Victor Campenaerts comes alongside. Fantastic bit of riding from the American Brandon McNulty, who goes again, just injects a little bit more pace on the instruction of his team leader. Not too much more to give, though, for Brandon McNulty. And then what's going to happen as Isaac Del Toro picks up, and Del Toro really accelerates with Pogačar on his wheel. This is going to hurt everybody. Del Toro, for the first time, really unleashes on the Cipressa. Pogačar able to follow him, follow the wheel of his teammate, but all the big favourites, Pidcock, Ganna, Van der Poel, Pedersen, Ciccone, Roglic as well. They're all still there on the wheels of Isaac Del Toro.
This was the hardest part of the Cipressa climb.
On number 136, and here goes the world champion.
This is the moment that Pogačar's going to have to try and make the difference. Pidcock locked onto his wheel. Van der Poel comfortably able to follow. Has swept round Pipo Ganna. Ganna is a little bit on the back foot now as those three riders blast here. Pogačar, having been down, paced back to the peloton, has unleashed a big attack. He looks round and he sees Pidcock and Van der Poel for company. It's another trio going clear on the Cipressa. This time, though, swap out Ganna for Pidcock.
The others didn't lose any centimeter from Pogačar, as well as Mathieu Van der Poel, who looks in prime position to deliver a fine performance. Here's the last little kicker before it flattens out, and then after this it's impossible to make any difference in between the riders a la pedal.
For this group to have any chance, they need to cooperate. Tadej Pogačar unleashes another attack when nobody expected it on the flat part of the road. He's burning so many matches here, but he's putting Van der Poel under a little bit of pressure. How does he do this, Tadej Pogačar? And is it wise? It doesn't really matter. It's just what he does. That's how he races.
Yeah, and once again, at the same time,
Christophe Laporte is there as well.
So too is Romain Grégoire, but there's, like you noticed, Mads Pedersen was riding, Grégoire's riding, a lot of leaders on their own, all putting their nose in the wind and burning a few matches is, well, that's definitely a grimace from Mathieu Van der Poel.
Yeah, not something like you usually see it. So far, if you...
The sheer resilience of this man, the strength of his character, frankly. Never knows when he's beaten. And what about Van Aert? Not Van Aert, Van der Poel, I should say. We have seen...
Ciccone, Mats Pedersen last wheel, followed by Ganna. So those are the riders who can make the difference. If Visma leaves a bike, they're going to move straight up to the front and help them. We can see a different outcome of this race.
And Pogačar sees them there, and he goes, and Van der Poel, no immediate reaction as he coaxes Tom Pidcock onto the wheel in front. A little gap opens up. Pidcock is able to hold the wheel of Tadej Pogačar, and that is not a bluff from Van der Poel. He's riding his own race now and hoping that he can pace himself back, like Filippo Ganna did on the Cipressa, to the front of the race. But the signs are not good there for Van der Poel.
No, it seems like the pace is too high, so the pace we were seeing from Van der Poel was not a bluff. He's really struggling to hold the pace. He hasn't cracked yet, but he's being distance at the moment. Only Pidcock look like the only man able to follow Tadej Pogačar at the moment.
Don't rule out the peloton. They're only at 9 seconds, but they're only as Pogačar tries to unleash again, tries to get rid of Tom Pidcock, and he's running out of opportunities to do so. Tiny gap opens up, does it? No, Pidcock is absolutely rock solid. Barely a foot separates the rear wheel of Tadej Pogačar from Tom Pidcock. What a resilient ride. He's in the form of his life, this young British rider.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to drop Pidcock from the wheel. You know, he needs to surprise him a little bit in order to gain this little gap that allows him to move clear, but that was not the right move at the moment, so let's wait and see, because now the speed has definitely decreased as...
Strike again, but Pidcock showed no sign of being able to be dropped. This is it. This is the last little steep section, I think, before the top.
Yeah, there is soon, there is going to be, when they're going to change and the wall is going to be on the left side of the ride, it's going to be a little bit harder section, but I think it's going to be hard for Pogačar dropping Tom Pidcock, as he was not able to do it before. But let's wait and see, because this man is it's an infinite reserve of energy, as we see, like the maximum gradient is about to be kicking, as with a big gear, Tom Pidcock still able to follow.
Confetti raining down on the world champion. Is he going to win Milan-SanRemo for the first time in his career? Is he going to add Milan-SanRemo to his extraordinary list of monument victories? Well, nobody knows, because Tom Pidcock has never raced as closely matched as Tadej Pogačar as he has just now, as last year's winner surely is seeing the race wind go up the road and out of sight at 17 seconds. Mathieu van der Poel, barring accident or miracle, is out of contention here. It looks for all the world like we're going to have a new winner of Milan-SanRemo, and it's going to be one of these two men as they head towards the top of the Poggio. Both brilliant descenders, but Pidcock normally has the edge. Can he make it count? Will he have the audacity to try and attack Tadej Pogačar on this critical descent off the Poggio? It's going to be
Turn of speed.
Here we go. It's the famous left-hand turn, probably the most famous left-hand turn in the whole world of cycling. As round they go and onto this descent. Now then, watch Pidcock. Will he come off the wheel and attack Pogačar?
And they were 10 seconds faster than last year, just to give an indication.
Pogačar. But that's not to say that he can't just ask the question on this descent. Maybe not go full throttle, Jacopo, but just push it and see if he can find a moment of weakness.
Yeah, and also, like, even if you're not able to drop him, force him to chase you down once you're at the bottom of the descent. You know, you can burn a little bit of matches for today. He can also help out Tom Pidcock in the final sprint.
And if you're Tadej Pogačar, well, has he already resigned himself that this all comes down to a mano in SanRemo on the approach to the Via Roma? Will it be that script, or can he attack Pidcock? In the frame of mind he's in at the moment, Tadej Pogačar, this is just a man of total willpower, isn't it? He just wants this so much. He's determined not to let this opportunity that he's fashioned through total aggression and raw power. He does not want to let this chance slip through his fingers. This might be his best chance he ever gets of winning Milan-SanRemo.
Yeah.
A world champion hasn't won SanRemo since 1983, Giuseppe Torroni. So,
I think
all the world champions over the years, and Pogačar's in prime position here to try and take his first SanRemo, but as world champion.
I think whatever way you cut it, it's going to be history, isn't it?
Of course.
Whatever way you cut it.
Several bits of history.
We're nearly off this descent now. You will do, because it's far too far out to risk anything yet, and they still need to keep the pace high.
Yeah, it's going down a little bit, 18 seconds at the moment. As
Wout van Aert launches off the front in pursuit of the front of the race. He's gone clear, he's got a gap, and Van Aert, not quite the rider that he was a few years ago, but a former winner of this race, Milan-SanRemo, knows how to do a short, hard effort like that. So he's off in pursuit of these three, and if he gets across, that is a real problem for Pidcock and Pogačar.
Yeah, it's 14 seconds now, it's going down 30 seconds, so they're getting closer, as these duo they're not allowed to look at each other getting too much tactical.
They can't afford to do this at all. They need to continue here, because this is getting quite desperate. All it takes is for them to look at each other and the gap comes down to single figures.
Well, Van Aert is visible now behind them, maybe 100 metres or so behind them, but they're well into the final kilometre, the series of turns that lead to the Via Roma, as Tom Pidcock finds himself in the purr of the victory. Tadej Pogačar swings across, looks for that moment where he can unleash his sprint. He knows that Van Aert is coming, but surely they've got enough roads to play with here to make this a battle of the ages between the two of them. We're going to have a new winner of Milan-SanRemo unless Van Aert can get across, but we're inside the last half kilometre. They slow right up. Tadej Pogačar aware of Tom Pidcock. Pidcock impassive, waiting to unleash his sprint, still too far out. Patience now for Pidcock. Pogačar Well, what a story he's written. Can he round it off? Can the world champion deliver the performance that gets him this yearned-for victory? Pogačar opens up his sprint. Pidcock still in the shadow of Pogačar. Pogačar trying to win the impossible race, but Pidcock is coming up alongside him. The arms go in the air, and it's very, very close, but Pogačar celebrates the impossible race.
He just made that decision to go on the right, and that was a close call. And I think at the back, I might be wrong, but I think Mats Pedersen overtook Wout van Aert right at the finish line, if I'm not mistaken.
That he wanted to win so he could relax and stop thinking.
There's just a momentary hesitation there from Pogačar before he unleashed that celebration.
Tadej wanted to be, was not far Tom Pidcock, but enough for Tadej Pogačar to celebrate in this victory.